Hey everyone, so a few months ago I switched to the Roux method for one-handed, and it was one of the best decisions I've ever made in cubing, to be honest. And a few months later I achieved a 10.1 official average with this method. I really think that if you are not fully committed, if you're not like sub 10 with CFOP, you should definitely give Roux a try. It's awkward for the first, few weeks, but eventually you will just experience this like rapid growth in your times. And it will just become very natural after a while. So before switching to Roux, I averaged about 13 with CFOP, and after, I'm now averaging about 10. And I just achieved a 10.1 official average. So since I experienced so much success with this new method, I thought, why not do some example solves? I would do a reconstruction of the official average that I just got, but unfortunately I didn't record any of the solves, and I don't remember any of the solutions. So I'm just going to get into this first one here. I don't know how many I'll do. I guess we'll just sort of roll with it. Okay, I already see something pretty good. So looking here, here's a solved edge, right? And I'm going to do a yellow, green, red block. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's going to be a 6-move first block, which is very good. So not only do I have this solved edge here, but this can connect in one move. So I need to somehow find a way to get this corner sort of in here and this edge. So basically I need to get this corner in here so that I can do, like, for example, this. So I can get like a D prime away. And I also want to get this edge in here so I can create this block, and then I'll deal with this edge later. I can do this in one go, because if I do U prime, R, U, R prime, I can actually combine that with the solution, which matches this up with this. So it's going to be U prime wider U, R prime. And we can see that basically everything of this first block gets solved apart from this edge, which is just UB. If you're wondering how I do my B finger tricks, it's simply just wide Fs with a rotation. Okay. And then this actually leaves, so it's just a D prime away, and my DI edge is in a great spot, right? I'm going to do a wide R2 just to get, so I can either do R2 or wide R2. I'm going to do wide R2 just to get both of these on the top. Makes look ahead a bit easier. And we actually get a free pair here. Now I can either do wide R prime or R prime. I'm going to do R prime because I like the case a bit better. Like wide R prime is not bad. You can do sort of like MU M prime, right? But R prime, it's just a bit more clean in terms of the finger tricks. There's just a standard CFOP solution, right? And then wide R to fix the centers. And this CMLL case, now I haven't learnt any like OH algs for CMLL. It's mainly just ZB algs and like CLL algs from 2x2 that I'm using. So here I'm just going to do sexy sledge. And now this is a very good trick for a lot of beginners with Roux. Basically, so sexy sledge, that's the first part of the algorithm, and the next part of the algorithm is soon. And now we see here, we have these 3 edges that are oriented. Now the best case on Roux is when you have 3 misoriented edges on the top and 1 on the bottom. We already have 1 on the bottom, so that's fine. So I just need to find a way of basically getting an arrow on the top rather than one edge misoriented. And I can actually do that by just doing a fat soon, because a fat soon is going to flip these 2 edges here. So it's actually going to give me the arrow case, which is pretty cool. Now I don't know full EOLR, but I know EOLR for the arrows. And if you're doing the LR edges, this EOLR case is not like it's the best way to just do EO into LR. But if you actually look at EOFB on this scramble, like we have this edge down here, this is like just a 3-move EOLR case, M prime U M. Now in a solve, I don't know if I'd see this, because in a solve I usually just rush and do the LR edges just out of habit. But I used to be able to do the FB. I used to like be pretty neutral between FB and LR, but now I basically just do LR. But if I was going slow in this scramble, I'd probably just do the FB and then EOLR. So that's my EOLR. Solve the LR edges, and then this is a pretty bad case, but whatever. Okay, so that's the first scramble there. Pretty lucky start, and honestly a pretty lucky second block. Okay, let's have a look at this one here. So there aren't any solved edges or anything, and there's no blocks. That's fine. So I'm not really at the stage with Roux yet where I can see like crazy stuff without blocks, but I can find sort of just some like spammy solutions, I guess. I don't really see much though on this scramble. Okay. I saw something earlier, but I forgot it. Oh, here it is. Okay. Let me just think this through. Okay. This is not very good, but it's going to have to do. It's going to be basically doing this block with white, green, and orange. And I'm going to start with this green and orange pair. R prime, U2, R prime, U, F prime. And then U, white R, U. So basically, and then we get this pair, which you can solve with U, white R, and then U, R, B prime, which I do like this. And then do this pair in the back, like this, split them up, R, U2, R prime, M prime, like that, just to make it. And then we can insert this pair in two ways. Either, so basically you just start with RU2, and then either you can finish it like this or like that. I think it's a bit better the second way because it puts this edge on the bottom here. And now if you see, the red is on the bottom and the red is on the top as well. And basically we can do this sort of F12 case like white R2, RU white R, which is basically just M2, R prime UR, but if you don't want to use the table, you would just execute it like that. And then this is a nice CMLL. And then basically my LR edges are not in a very good position, but I'm just going to do the arrow like this. And then this is a nice sort of, I don't know what to call this step, like last 6 edges after EO, I guess. Basically the way I do it is basically you have this opposite here. And when you have an opposite, usually you're going to do like an MU to M prime trigger to solve LR. But it's actually more efficient here if you insert it into the bottom and then you do like a M2, U, M2. Cool. So yeah, that solve is not very good. I don't think the scramble was great, but oh well. Okay, let's look at this one. Okay, this one has quite a few blocks on it. This is a scary scramble, to be honest. I don't know what to do. Okay. Yeah, this is a bit of a scary scramble. Scary is in like there's a lot of blocks and I'm not very confident in finding anything like crazy. Okay. I found something okay. Basically, we're going to be using this yellow, green, red first block. I'm going to start by solving this pair. R prime, U prime, B. U2, white R prime, F prime. So just to rewind, you get this free pair. There's actually 2 ways to do this. So you do R prime, white R prime, F. And since it has the, and then you can also do U2, white prime, F prime. Since it has the same effect on the DR edge, I would just do the one I find better on finger tricks, which is that one. And then I would do, I don't even know what I do here. I'd probably do like U prime. I'd probably do some like spam, like U prime, R prime, U prime, F2L case. And then it's this case. This is actually a very nice F12 case. U prime, R prime, U, M prime, U, R. U2. I'm going to get an arrow here with my CMLL alg. And then just arrow. And then I solve the rest. For this case, just M. Basically, when you have 2 opposites on the top, see here's an opposite and here's an opposite. All you do is you just like, basically just put, oh actually that's not how I'm trying to explain it. Basically you have an opposite bar in the front, and then you have the other LR edge in the back, and basically you just like M, U2, M prime, solves LR, and then you just get like a three cycle. Okay. Okay, for this 4th one, we have a nice block on yellow, green, red. I think that's it, basically. Unless there's something on... I'm not sure about the scramble. Okay. I would do something like this. So, I would do U2. So basically what I'm trying to do here is get yellow, this yellow edge into the back, and then this yellow corner here. So it's just basically U2, white R, R2, which solves this block in the back, D. And that solves the first half of my first block. And then U makes this pair, F, white R prime, F. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do U2, R2 to solve my DR. And then it's basically just a 2-gen spam for the finish. It's like F12. And then my similar arg will actually give me EO because it flips these two. Okay. And then the best way to do this EO case, this all comes from experience, by the way. I haven't like learned any of these optimal EO cases, but it's just the best way I've found. Basically what I'm going to do, I'm going to ignore these because they're both on top. So I'm going to do my FB edges. This one is back here and this one's up here. Basically, if I do this, it'll give me this really annoying case. So what I found is you can actually do MU2M, which is another way of sort of inserting this, but this one is inserting basically M prime U2M into the front, MU2M inserts it into the back, and it basically gives you this three mover. M2 U prime, M2 U prime. All right, we'll do one more. Okay, the scrambles should be in the description if I was not lazy. Okay, so this is a good scramble. We have 2 blocks and a pair. But I don't know. I don't know if there's any like super efficient solutions though. That's my thing. I feel like, yeah, I don't know. I'm going to have a look at these blocks for a bit. Yeah, I've gone over 15, definitely. But that's okay. Yeah, I'll probably... This is probably not the best. There's probably other stuff. Again, if you use Roux, definitely, like, feel free to comment some alternate solutions for some of these scrambles. I'm going to do this block here, the yellow, orange, green. I'm going to start with... Sorry, just the yellow, orange. I realized this whole video I've been saying 3 colors. Basically, the 3 colors I say are the first pair I'm doing. So I'm actually going to be starting with the yellow, orange, blue, which is this pair here. It's already made. R, U prime, B. And now, in terms of the best way to solve this, I feel like there is a good way, but I'm not good enough to find it. I would just do like... I would just do something like this. Like F prime, R prime, U, F prime. So... rewind. F prime gives this, and then R prime U. You can do like this in a few ways, but R prime U, F prime, U, Y prime, F prime. This DI edge is in a bad spot. I'll probably do like something like this, and then Y R2 to get this edge up. And this is pretty bad second block, like R prime U, R, U prime, M prime, R prime U, R, M to set this up here. R prime, that. Okay, and then this will give me a 4 edge misoriented case, and this is actually cool. So I can actually do an EOLR B here that I sort of found by myself. Basically, my normal solution for this EOLR, so my LR edges are here and here, is like M prime U2 M prime into this arrow case. However, if you have a bar like this, like see this is red, red, and red, I put it in the back, M prime U2 M, and now when I do this arrow EOLR, it's EOLR B. So yeah. Very cool. So yeah, I hope you guys found some stuff helpful, and I think that's all I'm going to do. So yeah, thanks for watching.